Okay. So this is something that we've done a little bit of before. You will need extra sheets of paper for this, for some of this independent practice and for the homework, because you will have to solve some smaller problems to the side. So, say we have this problem. 2 plus 3 times 5 plus 3. Can we do all of this like at one time in our heads, like all at once? No, we have to do pieces of it separately and then put it together. Excuse me. So, let's see what happens if we just go from left to right. 2 plus 3 is 5. We're going to bring down the rest of the equation. 5 times 5 is
25.
Bring down the rest of the equation. 25 plus 3 is
28.
28. Okay? But now let's see what happens if we solve it a different way. So our first answer is 28. But now I'm going to solve it a different way. I'm going to try the multiplication first. Class, 3 times 5 is
15.
Bring down the rest of the equation. Do the multiplication first. Oops, whoops. Then I'm just going to solve it from left to right because I have the same operation. Class, 2 plus 15 is
17.
17 plus 3 is
20.
I got a different answer. My first answer, when I just solved from left to right, was 28. But when I did the multiplication first, my answer was 20. So which one is right? The first or the second? Well, today we're going to learn about the order of operations, which is going to tell us our second answer is right. Because when we have more than one operation, more than one type of operation in a problem, we have to solve it a certain order. Order of operations means this is the order that you do the operations. And yes, multiplication does come before addition. So, open your books. Make sure your books are open to page 451. And please read this first sentence under the title, Lena.
An expression
That's not the word in, so I think it's confusing you.
and
You said that word right.
expression. An expression is a combination of numbers, variables, and at least one operation.
So, an expression is basically a fancy equation. An equation is like 2 plus 3 equals 5. An expression also includes variables, but they're very similar. Okay, read the second, Ethan's not in here. Read the second piece of information, Zadie.
When an expression has more than one operation, the first order of operations tells us which one to perform first, so that everyone gets the same answer.
Good.
Parentheses are symbols which indicate how to group operations.
So, an expression has numbers, variables, and at least one operation. We've been writing these forever. But sometimes they have more than one operation, like our problem here, and the order of operations tells us which of these operations to do first, so that everybody gets the same answer, so that some people don't get this answer, and then some people get this answer. Now, this is something you will use all the way through high school and college math. So, We're going to look at the key concept box on the bottom of page 451 first. Then we'll do example 1. So let's look at this key concept box first. Because remember, the key concepts are the things we memorize. This is going to tell us the operations, the order of operations. What is step 1 when solving an expression with multiple operations? Victoria.
Perform operations in.
We know this word. You can also sound it out. This E at the end is long. Everything else is exactly how it's spelled. That's not pattern. Parentheses. So first, you solve parentheses. So in this case, we don't have parentheses. Does that mean that, we can't solve it? No, it just means we skip to step 2. Kingston's not here. Smith, what is step 2? What do you do second after you solve the parentheses or if there are no parentheses?
Multiply and divide in order from left to right.
So you multiply, then divide from left to right. You don't multiply first, then divide. If the division symbol comes first, you do the division symbol first. You just multiply and divide from left to right, like you read a book, okay? So if there's a division symbol here and then a multiplication symbol here, you would do the division first, because you just follow it in order. Then, once you're done multiplying and dividing, or if there is no multiplication or division, what do you do third? Michaela. You add and subtract in order from left to right. That doesn't mean add first, then subtract. It means if there's subtraction here and addition here, you do the subtraction first. Kingston, put your stuff down. Bring your math book up to Miss Douglas. Okay, so now we know. Step 1. I think you should have some room here. Except Lena, you'll have to put it down below that little film strip thing. Step 1. Parentheses. Once you do that, or if there are none, you go to step 2. You add and, don't add and subtract. You multiply and divide. And then we're going to put an arrow under it to show that you go from left to right. Now, just because the word multiply comes before the word divide doesn't mean you always multiply before you divide. Because if the division symbol is on the left in the problem, you do that first. And then, once you're done with that, or if there is no multiplication or division, then you add and subtract again from left to right. And when I say from left to right, that just means the way you read. We read this way. Do we read backwards and read cost, tickets, movie, much, how, shows, table, the? Does that make any sense at all? No. So, once you're done writing this little reminder, step 1, parentheses. Once you're done, or if there are none, step 2, multiply and divide from left to right. Once you're done, or if there is no multiplication or division, step 3, add and subtract from left to right. Remember, you don't always multiply before you divide, because if the division symbol comes first in the problem, you do the division first. You don't always add or subtract before you subtract, because if the subtraction symbol comes first, you do that before you add. But you always multiply and divide before you add or subtract. Okay, everybody, finger, pencil on example 1. Yes, Victoria, quickly.
I think Chinese is also doing.
Well, yes, but we don't, I think they read from bottom to top. And then some languages do read from right to left, but not English. Okay, example 1. Read in your head while I read out loud. Remember, every period we come to, we're going to stop and visualize. The table shows how much movie tickets cost. Okay, I'm looking at a table. I see that adult tickets are $8, child tickets are $5. So if you went with your dad to the movies, he would pay $8 for him and $5 for you. Okay. How much will it cost to buy 3 adult tickets and 5 child tickets? That means we are buying 3 of these adult tickets at $8 each, and we're buying 5 of these child tickets at $5 each. So we have to solve. That means we're taking the cost of the 3 adult tickets that are $8 each and adding the cost of the 5 child tickets. So your expression looks like a C, which is the cost. Remember, even though it's already there, please use your pencil to actually write over top of it so that you get that muscle memory. The cost, they used a C for the variable for cost, equals the 3 adults times the $8 for each of their tickets. 3 adults times $8, because that's how much the tickets are. Then we're going to add the cost of the 5 kids to go to the movies, who cost $5 each. So does everybody see where this equation or this expression comes from? The total cost is the 3 adults times their $8 tickets added to the 5 kids times their $5 tickets. This part is going to show us how much the adult tickets cost in all. This part is going to show us how much the children's tickets cost in all. And then we're going to add them together to get the total cost. Now, order of operations says we have to do parentheses first. Class, do we have any parentheses in this problem?
No.
Does that mean it's broken, we can't solve it, it's just a mess and we don't know what to do? No, we just skip step 1 and we go to step 2, which says to multiply and divide from left to right. Do we have multiplication?
Yes.
Yes. We start on the left. So we do 3 times $8 first. Class, 3 times $8 is
$24.
$24. They already gave us the dollar sign, so we don't have to do that again. So we just figured out how much do the adult tickets cost in all. Class,
$24.
$24. Are we done? Does that answer the question?
No.
No. Now are we going to go ahead and add 5?
No.
Class, are we going to add 5 now?
No.
Why?
No.
Why are we not adding 5 right now? Michaela?
Because we haven't even got all our partial
Well, because we haven't done all of the what yet?
equation.
But that's part of the equation. Why are we not adding 5 right now? Zari?
Because we haven't finished the second step yet. We haven't finished the step.
Which step did we not finish? Be specific, please.
Step 2, we didn't finish step 2.
Okay, we didn't finish doing what? I know we didn't finish step 2, but what exactly did we not finish? We
didn't finish the amount that the
What did we not finish? Aaron?
The multiplication.
We haven't finished the multiplication. We still have a multiplication symbol that we haven't used yet. And step 2 says multiply and divide. Can we add before we multiply? No, we cannot. We must multiply before we can add. So that means we need to do this 5 times $5 first and then just bring down the plus sign. Class, 5 times $5 is
$25.
$25.
$25.
So now we know the parents' cost $24. The kids cost $25. Does this tell us how much they cost in all and answer that question? Can we say, okay, $24 plus $25, we're done. The adults are $24, the kids are $25, we're done.
No.
No, because the question asks us how much will it cost to buy all of these tickets. So now is where we take the cost of the adult tickets and the cost of the kids' tickets, and we do that last step. Step 3, which is to add and subtract. We do have addition, 24 plus 25. We're going to solve it to the side and not be lazy. 4 plus 5, and I see like 3 people writing. And I just said we're going to solve it to the side and not be lazy, and then only like 2 or 3 people picked up their pencil to not be lazy, and the rest of you were lazy, and that's the problem. 4 plus 5 is?
9.
2 plus 2
9.
is?
4.
So that
4.
means all together, $24 plus $25 is?
$49.
$49 in all.
$49. So somebody read this sentence right here and fill in the blank. Carla.
So the total cost is $49.
Good. So the total cost is $49. Okay. Let's go on to example 2. While I change, I would like you to please rewrite this little thing in that big empty area next to example 2. Please rewrite these steps. Number 1, parentheses. Number 2, multiply and divide with that arrow showing left to right. Number 3, add and subtract with that arrow showing left to right. If you can't see it up here, look at where you wrote it on example 1 and just flip back and forth. Okay, everybody, look at the sentence on the top of this page, page 452, and please read, Aaron, loud.
Remember, an expression is a combination of numbers, variables, and at least one operation.
Good. So an expression is just numbers, variables, and at least one operation. Okay, everybody, finger or pencil on example 2. I see your finger or pencil on example 2. We will continue. And read in your head while I read out loud. Find the value of the expression 3 times 4 plus 6. Well, is there any real world things that we need to solve? Nope, it's just telling us find the value, which means the answer to the expression 3 times 4 plus 6. Okay, well, let's look at our order of operations. Step 1, class.
Parentheses.
Do we have parentheses in this problem?
Yes.
Yes. So even
Yes.
though the part in parentheses is 4 plus 6, and we know we're supposed to add last, the parentheses tell us ignore that, do that first. So, class, 4 plus 6 is 10. Then we bring down the multiplication symbol, and that 3. Do we have any more parentheses?
No.
No. So we can move to step 2, which tells us to do what?
Multiply and divide.
Multiply and divide.
That's not it. It doesn't just tell us to multiply and divide. What does the arrow mean?
From left to right.
Multiply and divide from left to right. Make sure when you're saying step 2 and step 3, you add that from left to right at the end. That's important. Otherwise, you might think, oh, I multiply before I divide every single time. But that's not always the case. Okay, so what we have left, do we have multiplication?
Yes.
Yes. 3 times 10 is?
30.
Okay, we're done with multiplication. What is step 3?
And subtract from left to right.
Good. Add and subtract from left to right. Do we have any more addition or subtraction?
No.
Do we have anything else?
No.
So, 3 times 4 plus 6 equals
30.
30. Okay. Is everybody with me? It's not bad at all. You just, when you get to the word problems and you have to write your own, that's where you really need to think. But we will do We'll do number 18 together on the independent practice. That is a word problem so that we can work on getting an expression out of a word problem. Okay, everybody, finger or pencil on example 3. Read in your head while I read out loud. Find the value of the expression 7 minus 3 divided by 2 plus 2. Well, again, do we have a real world situation to solve?
No.
Nope. So we're just going to follow the order of operations. Step 1, class.
Parentheses.
Do we have parentheses?
Yes.
Yes, we have 2 sets. That just means we can solve them at the same time. But because we read this way, let's start with the first set first. 7 minus 3 is
4.
We're going to bring down our division
4.
symbol. And then we're going to solve our other set of parentheses. 2 plus 2 is
4.
4.
So we're done with step 1. Step 2, class.
Multiply and divide from left to right.
Multiply and divide from left to right. Do we have multiplication or division?
Yes.
Yes. 4 divided by 4 is
1.
1. I know I only have one number left, but so that we remember, what would the next step be?
Add and subtract from left to right.
Add and subtract from left to right. But we don't have anything else to do. So, 7 minus 3 divided by 2 plus 2 equals
1.
1.
1.
Okay, is everybody with me?
Yes.
Remember, keep looking back at this. Write it on your homework when you're doing it. Write it on both sides of your homework. Go back, look at it, every single problem. Let's do the guided practice. Get out a separate sheet of paper while I get this ready. Everybody get out one clean. Okay, number 1. We have 12 minus 1 times 3. Mason, what is our first step? Don't forget to unmute.
12 minus 1.
Are we following the order of operations here, Mason? The whole point of examples 1 through 3 was to follow this order of operations that you should have written up at the top. What is step 1 when we have these types of expressions?
Before parentheses?
Do we have, so step 1 is parentheses. Do we have any parentheses?
No.
No, so we go to step 2, which tells us to you have your steps written up at the top of your paper. What is step 2?
Multiply and divide.
Not just multiply and divide, but what does the arrow underneath mean? Come on, Mason, we've said this a bunch of times. If you're with us, then it's in your head. It's a pattern. It's multiply and divide
From left to right?
from left to right. Do we have multiplication or division to do, Mason?
Yes.
Yes. So on your separate sheet of paper, you are going to rewrite number 1, 12 minus 1 times 3 equals. So on your separate sheet of paper, you should have number 1, 12 minus 1 times 3 equals. Now, Mason, you said there was multiplication or division to do. So what do we do right now?
Multiply.
What do we multiply?
11 times 3.
Why 11 times 3? I don't see 11. I see 12 minus 1 times 3. Can we do 12 minus 1 first, Mason? Look at your order of operations. Can we do 12 minus 1 first? Okay, Mason, please listen while I explain how to do this problem. You need to be focusing and following along. Listen, Mason, I need you to be watching and listening. Step 1 is parentheses. Look at the problem. We have no parentheses. So that means we don't do anything. We go to step 2. Step 2 says multiply and divide from left to right. Well, we have some multiplication and division. We have 1 times 3. So I'm going to put a caret under 1 times 3 and I'm going to solve. Mason, 1 times 3 is? 3. Then I'm going to bring down the rest of the equation. I'm going to bring down 12 minus. Because I can't solve that yet. I cannot subtract before I multiply. Because subtract is in step 3, multiply is in step 2. So I have to do all of step 2 before I can move on to step 3. So now what I have is 12 minus 3. Do I have any other multiplication or division, Mason?
No.
No. So now I can move to step 3, which tells us to do what? Add and subtract from left to right. So now I just solved 12 minus 3. I don't have to put a caret because I can just solve that right here. That's my last operation. Once you get to your last operation, you can just put the answer on the line. So Mason, 12 minus 3 is? 9. Now, everybody, do not write anything, just listen. Finish writing your 9, and then go and write your 9 on number 1. So finish on your extra sheet of paper, and then go write your answer on number 1. And everybody listen, if we had just gone from left to right, 12 minus 1 is 11. 11 times 3 is 33. Is that even close to the right answer? No, that is why the order of operations is so important. I'm telling you, rewrite this on every single page that you do. Please, it will help you. Because then you can go, okay, 1 parentheses, do that. 2, multiply and divide from left to right. Do that. 3, add and subtract from left to right. Unless it is in parentheses, you cannot add or subtract before you multiply or divide. Number 2, we have 15 minus 4 times 2. Zari, what's step 1? Just listen, okay.
Parentheses.
Do we have any parentheses?
No.
No. Zari, it's really quiet in your background right now, so you can probably leave your sound on for just while you do this problem. Okay, so that means we move on to step 2, which is what, Zari?
Multiply and divide from left to right.
Do we have multiplication and division to do?
Yes.
Yes, so everybody on their separate sheet of paper should already have number 2, 15 minus 4 times 2 equals, and now we're doing step 2, so what are we going to do right now, Zari?
We're going to draw a caret under the 4 times 2.
So we're going to draw a caret under 4 times 2 and then solve, which is
8.
8. Then we're going to bring down the rest of the problem. And what do we have left, Zari?
$15 minus 8.
Okay. Do we have any other multiplication or division?
No.
So let's go to step 3, which tells us to
Add and subtract from left to right.
add and subtract from left to right. So what do we do next? Do we need to draw a caret when we only have 1 operation left?
No.
No. So we're just going to solve. What are we going to solve, Zari?
15 minus 8.
Which equals?
7.
7. So we put 7 on our line, and then you go to your book and write 7 on your line. Okay, number 3. We have 15 minus 4 times 2 equals blank. Cullen, what is step 1?
Parentheses.
Do we have parentheses?
Yes.
Yes. So what do we solve first?
15 minus 4.
15 minus 4. So on your separate sheet of paper, you should have rewritten 15 minus 4 in parentheses times 2 equals. Cullen said we do have something in parentheses, 15 minus 4, so we're going to put a caret underneath it, and now we are going to solve.
15 minus 4 is 11.
15 minus 4 is 11. Then we bring down what's left.
Times 2.
What do? Do we have any more parentheses?
No.
So next we do step 2, which is?
Multiply and divide from left to right.
Do we have multiplication or division to do?
Yes.
Yes. 11 times 2 equals?
22.
Do we have to put a caret when we only have one operation left?
No.
No, we can just write it next to the expression and then go to our math books and write it on the line. So 15 minus 4 times 2 with parentheses around 15 minus 4 equals?
22.
So do you see the difference? You can only add or subtract before you multiply or divide if that addition or subtraction is in parentheses. Do you see how these are the same exact numbers in numbers 2 and 3, but we got two different answers? Because if we subtract first, we get this answer. If we multiply first, we get this answer. Do not add parentheses if they are not already there. That is not part of your job. Okay? Because then you're just changing what you do. Okay, I think you understand these as long as you are slow and you are paying attention and you use these tips right here. So let's look at number 18 so that we can see how to solve the word problems. So that we can get through number 18. Because I can give you some extra time for math today because we have a review and reflect and reading, which I don't think will take as long. So we can probably take like 30 minutes for reading and be okay. So that means we'll have plenty of time to get this whole lesson done today. So let's look at number 18. You must write equations and expressions for these word problems. You must. That means you have to be slow and careful and read closely to figure out, okay, what do I know? What am I trying to find out? So, let's read number 18. We're going to stop at every period and we're going to visualize. Please make sure that you're focusing and not just staring off into space. I can't force you to be here in where we are, but just know if you choose to be somewhere else right now, that's why it took us 2 months to do division, because most of you chose to just not be here. Okay? Number 18. Each bag of dried apples has 5 servings. Okay? I'm going to draw a picture. Here's my bag of dried apples. There are 5 servings in it. So that means if I buy one bag, 5 people can have some apples, the same amount. Okay, I'm going to draw an arrow to that picture so that I know exactly which part goes with that. Bless you. Each bag of dried apricots, bless you, has 3 servings. Ooh, I'm going to have to figure out how to change my drawing a little bit so that I know that this is apples. So I'm going to put DAPP. So I know it's dried apples because dried apricots has the same, bless you, initials. And then I'm going to draw my bag of dried apricots. So I have another bag, and I'm going to call it DAPR for dried apricots. And I know it has 3 servings. And then I'm going to draw an arrow from that sentence to my dried apricot picture. Okay, cool. So now I know, okay, if I buy a bag of dried apples, there's 5 servings in it. If I buy a bag of dried apricots, there's 3 servings. You know, when you go to the grocery store and you get like a larger bag, it's not meant for one person, right? I mean, maybe we can all sit there and eat it all, but it's technically supposed to be for more than one. Okay, cool. How many servings of dried fruit does it say apples or apricots here? So am I finding only the amount of apples or apricots here? No, because fruit means both. How many servings of dried fruit are in 6 bags of dried apples, which means how many dried apple bags did I buy? How many dried apple bags did I buy? Class?
6.
6. I bought 6 of these. And 2 bags of dried apricots, which means how many dried apricots did I buy?
2.
2. How many servings of dried fruit are in 6 bags of dried apples and 2 bags of dried apricots? There's my question. That's what I need to solve on this line, which means my answer unit is what? What is my answer unit? Everybody should be able to figure this out because it's the same thing we've been doing since chapter 2. Aaron, servings. Servings is going to be my answer unit. So what do I have to do now? I have to write an expression. I need to figure out, okay, there's 6 bags of dried apples. There's 5 servings in each one. What equation will tell me how many dried apple servings there are? What equation will tell me how many servings of dried apples there are? I know each bag has 5 servings in it. I know I bought 6 bags. Zadie?
6 times 5.
6 for the bags times 5, which is the number of servings. 5 servings in each bag times the 6 bags will tell me how many dried apple servings I have. Is that what I'm trying to solve? If I solve this, will I have my final answer? No, because does the problem say how many servings of dried apples are there? No. So that means it's dried apples and dried apricots. Well, I know I bought 2 bags of apricots. There's 3 servings in each one. What equation will tell me how many servings of apricots there are? Carla?
2 times 3.
2 times 3. 2 bags times 3 servings each. 3 servings in each of the 2 bags. That will tell me how many dried apricots there are. Now, if I solve this and I solve this, is that going to be my answer?
No.
Why? Lena?
Because you have to add both answers together.
I have to add both answers together. Very good. I need to figure out, okay, how many dried apple servings are there? How many dried apricot servings are there? And then, how many is that all together? Do we really need any parentheses here? Where could we put parentheses? And it would still work. Victoria.
Around the 6 and the 5, or you could put some parentheses around both of them, or you could just put it around
Both of what?
both of the equations.
I only see one equation here.
Around 6 times 5 and 2 times 3.
I could put parentheses around each multiplication problem. But I don't really have to because I know what do I solve first. If there's no parentheses, what do I solve first? Aaron, multiplication. But that's what I could write. And then I know I'm writing an expression, so I need a variable. Let's put F for fruit. So I know 6 times 5 plus 2 times 3 will tell me how many servings of dried fruit. Because 6 times 5 tells me how many servings of apples. 2 times 3 tells me how many servings of apricots. Add them together, and I get the dried fruit servings. So now I have my equation. I have the first part of my problem done. There's 1 point, or 2 points right there, because you wrote an equation correctly, and you used a variable. There's 2 points of the problem that you've got. Now we just need the third and fourth. The third is showing the work. The fourth is having the right answer. So now we're going to go to our separate sheet of paper. We've just written our equation on the line, but we have no room to solve it. So we're going to go to our separate sheet of paper. We're going to write number 18. And then we're going to rewrite the equation exactly as it appears. That means including parentheses, including all symbols, all operation symbols, and numbers, and equal signs, and variables. So I am writing exactly 6 times 5 plus 2 times 3 equals F. Smith. What do I do first? What does the order of operations tell me to do first?
Parentheses.
Parentheses. Do we have parentheses?
Yes.
Yes. So what should we do first?
6 times 5.
6 times 5. So I'm going to put a caret. 6 times 5 is
30.
30. Now I have other parentheses. Do I need to rewrite those too, or can I just go ahead and solve the other parentheses as well?
Go ahead and solve.
I can go ahead and solve them. So I'm going to put a caret under 2 times 3, which is
6.
6. Now I'm going to bring down the rest of my problem. So I'm going to bring down the plus sign, and I'm going to bring down the equals F. Now I do only have one operation symbol, but do I have a line here?
No.
No, so I need another caret, right? Do I have any other multiplication or any other parentheses?
No.
No. So I go to step 2, multiply and divide from left to right. Do I have anything to multiply or divide?
No.
No. So I go to step 3, add and subtract from left to right. Do I have something to add or subtract?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm going to put a caret under 30 plus 6, which is
36.
36. I'm going to bring down what's left, which is equals F. Smith, do I have anything else to solve?
No.
No. So that means F equals
36. 36 servings of fruit.
36, and you can just write servings. 36 servings. Hey, it's just about reading closely. Some of you will do great at it because you've been doing it the whole time. Some of you just please slow down. Don't just pick out the first numbers you see and then just solve that and be done. We're going to do number 19 together too. The rest you'll do on your own. So, is everybody ready to move on to number 19? Please make sure you're listening. I see some of you zoning out because you're like, this is too hard, I don't get it. Well, it's too hard because you're not listening. And that's all I can tell you. I can't be in your brain being like, listen, listen, listen. Stop thinking about that other thing. Stop telling yourself you can't do it. I can't be in your brain doing it. It's not possible. So you have to do it. Okay, number 19. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to read each sentence, visualize, draw pictures if we need to, everything. Okay. Each book costs $4. I'm going to draw a little picture of a book. I'm going to label it B for book, and I'm going to say that it is $4. It's small, I know, but it's just a rectangle with a B and $4. And then I'm going to draw an arrow from that sentence to that picture. Carl, I don't see you writing anything. This is not optional. I need you guys to stop treating all of these little tips as optional. Because when I'm writing it on the board, you're writing it on your paper. I told you that since August. Okay, how much does it cost to buy 3 books and 1 magazine that costs $5? Okay, I have 2 pieces of information. The first part tells me there's 3 books. So that means I have my book. Each one costs $4. How many am I buying? How many am I buying? Everybody should have their hand up because the problem literally says how many I am buying. And yet I see 2 people with hands down. The problem says, how much does it cost to buy 3 books? How many books am I buying? Class.
3.
Come on.
3.
Get to it. different than a book, I'm going to label it M, and I'm going to put $5 on it. Because I know the books are $4, and I'm buying 3. The magazines are $5. How many magazines am I buying? Every single person should have their hand up. Because the problem literally says, how much does it cost to buy 3 books and 1 magazine? How many magazines am I buying, class?
1.
1.
So now, what is my answer unit? Carla.
Our unit is going to be
Zari?
it's $1 sign.
It's going to be dollars. Remember, how much? If we see dollars, means our answer unit is dollars. Okay, now we need to write our equation. We know the books are $4. And we know the books are $4 and I'm buying 3. What equation will tell me how much the books cost? There's 3 books. They cost $4 each. What equation is going to tell me how much the books cost? Zari.
It's going to be 3 times 4.
Just 3 times 4?
3 times 4 plus.
Nope. That's plus is not going to tell me how much the books cost. 3 times 4. Victoria?
3 times 4 and
Nope. Cullen?
3 times $4.
3 times $4. Okay, we're still working on the word problems. Okay, so we figured out the first part of the equation. 3 magazines times $4 tells us how much the books, 3 books for $4 each. Is that going to tell us our final answer? No, because the question says how much does it cost to buy 3 books and 1 magazine that costs $5. Okay, I know that I'm figuring out a $5 magazine and there's 1 each. But do I need to write another multiplication problem for that? Why do I not need to write another multiplication problem for the one $5 magazine? Zadie.
Because the base is that.
Well, so is this, but I had to write this. Why do I not need to write another multiplication problem for the 1 magazine that's $5 each? Confidence. Some of you, I think, know the answer, but you're scared. Aaron?
Because
There's only, okay, so why do we not have to write a multiplication problem for that? If there's only 1 magazine, why do we not have to write a multiplication problem for that? Victoria?
because it
Cullen?
Because we already know the answer.
Why do we already know the answer for how much 1 magazine at $5 each is?
Because it says 1. It says
What's 1 times 5, class?
5.
So do I need to rewrite an equation that's going to give me this number I already know?
No.
No. So 3 times 4 will tell me the 3 times $4 will tell me the cost of the books. What do I need to do to show that I also need to have the cost of the magazine? Smith.
you need to write plus 5. Plus $5.
Plus $5. Because I need to figure out how much the books cost altogether and then add the cost of the 1 magazine. I don't need to do multiplication to solve 1 times $5 because I know the answer to 1 times $5 is
$5.
$5. Is there anything else I need to include in my equation, class?
No.
No. So I'm going to do equals. And then I'm going to come up with a variable. I'm going to put C for cost. Okay, I have my expression. I know this part, the 3 times $4 will tell me how much the books cost. I know the plus $5 means I'm adding the 1 magazine cost. So now there's 1 point and 2 points. Now let's get point 3 and 4. I'll just leave this here. I'm going to go to my separate sheet of paper and I'm going to write 19. And then I'm going to rewrite my equation exactly as it appears right here. 3 times $4 plus $5 equals C. And now I'm just going to follow the order of operations. Lena, what does the order of operations tell me to do first? Parentheses. Do I have any parentheses here?
No.
So what do I do?
You move on to the second step.
I move on to the second step, which tells me to
Multiply and divide.
just multiply and divide.
Multiply and divide from left to right.
Multiply and divide from left to right. Do I have multiplication or division to do?
Yes.
Yes. So what do I do?
Write our little carrot
I draw our caret under
3 times $4.
under 3 times $4, and then I solve. 3 times $4 is 12 what? $12. Then I bring down the rest of my equation. Plus $5 equals C. Is there any more multiplication and division, Lena?
No.
So what do I do?
You go to the third one.
I go to the third step, which is
Add and subtract from left to right.
add and subtract from left to right. Now I only have one operation, but do I have a line here after the equal sign?
No.
No, so I need another caret, right? Where does my caret go?
Under $12 plus 5.
Under $12 plus 5.
Equals $17.
5 what?
$5.
$5. So $12 plus $5 is
$17.
$17. I bring down what's left, which is equals C. Do I have any more operations to do at all?
No.
No. So that means the cost of the 3 books in 1 magazine is
$17.
$17. Some of you are on it. Some of you you got to work on it. Okay. I am going to give you the next 22 minutes to do the independent practice. But first, let me pass out your homework so I can show you. These are the ones you must do on your separate sheet of paper. These are the ones that you can solve in your book. So I'm going to pass out your homework. Please be listening as I explain which ones to do on the paper and which ones to show on your separate sheet of paper. Yes, Smith?
Can we circle the ones that we have to do on our
Yes, that was my next thing. You circle the ones that you do on a separate sheet of paper. Remember, write those steps. Oh yeah, you need this. Anybody else? Did I give one to everybody? Did I give a homework sheet to everybody? Those of you at home, go ahead and get it out. Remember, it's the printed one, not the one from your book. Awesome. Carla, do you have it? Please make sure that you have it ready when I give it. Okay. On the independent practice. You must do 4 through 17 on your separate sheet of paper. So all of page 453 must be done on a separate sheet of paper, just because I have to, because some of your handwriting is so big that you will not be able to fit it neatly. And if I say it's a choice, you'll choose to do it in the book, because that's the easier choice rather than the correct choice. So that means everybody must do all of page 453 and 454 on a separate sheet of paper. So all of the independent practice must be done on your separate sheet of paper. Now, let's look at the homework. Zari, please hold your questions until I'm done explaining. All of the independent practice must be done on your separate sheet of paper. Now, the homework, numbers 1 and 2 can be done on the paper because you have space. But all of the back must be done on your separate sheet of paper. Remember, you're rewriting the equations exactly as they appear. Do not forget, for numbers 7, 8, and 9, write an equation. So, let's see, next to problem solving, please write on your homework, next to problem solving, where you have those word problems, you need to write an expression. That means variables, numbers, that means this, for 7, 8, and 9. This is the expression. So, for both the independent practice and the homework, word problems should look like these, where you have the expression with a variable, and then what the variable equals with the unit. Okay, go ahead. You have until 10 o'clock to finish the independent practice and numbers 1 and 2 on the homework. Remember, when you're writing on your separate sheet of paper, rewrite the equation exactly as it appears. Any questions? Victoria?
So, test practice, push it on my work on the little blunt side, is that it?
Nope, on a separate sheet of paper. Remember, I said the whole back must be done on a separate sheet of paper. Yes, Zadie?
Don't people who have corrections do the corrections?
Yep. So if you had corrections on independent practice and you have not shown them to me, finish those first, come show me, or ask me for help, and then do today's independent practice and the front of the homework.
And Miss Fuller, can you refresh me on that?
Go quickly.